Hello, guys. Welcome to the Season of the Witch podcast. We don't have cool music yet because we don't like to sing, apparently. What are you going to sing for us?
I can sing.
Yeah?
Yeah. No,
Anyway.
we're doing the car wash. Welcome to the podcast.
Oh, yeah! So tonight is run by... I'm going to put this pen down so I don't Dave.
Don't Dave it.
Tonight is run by you guys. We have a few things that we're going to touch base on. Just a few things that are happening in the month. Friendly reminders. Friendly reminders on what you can be doing, if you should be planting things, spring cleaning, things like that. We'll talk about a little bit. But the podcast tonight is run by you guys and your questions. I really want to get into the habit of the second weekend podcast, or the third weekend podcast, the second podcast of the month, on the third weekend of the month.
On the third Saturday.
I really want to get in the habit of this being the fun podcast. This is where we take your questions. This is where we do the things. We've been pretty relaxed trying to get into a rhythm of how the podcast is working. This is our fourth, I want to say dog and pony show, but I'm the only one with dogs and ponies. So.
I don't have any ponies.
This is our Crystal and Cauldron show.
I think we all have those things.
Yeah, we should all have those things. Yeah, so this is going to be, hello, Michele. This is going to be run by you guys. Your questions, what you want to learn about, and hopefully we'll be able to answer them on the spot. And if not, we have some books and a whole store of answers and Jujel.
Got the Jujels.
Yeah, Jujel's pretty good. So, I'm Brittany.
I'm Star.
Brandy.
She's geeky noir also. Let's jump in. Not on my notes though. I want to talk about Reiki one more time and you moving.
Oh, yeah. Because I made the big announcement.
You did.
I did.
Yes.
So I'm moving in June. So the Reiki series that I'm about to be doing is going to be the last one here in Texas. And I feel very fortunate to be doing it with you guys. But yeah, I've been doing Reiki in Central Texas and teaching Reiki in Central Texas since 2020, so 5 years. So after a long 5 years, this will be the last one. So if you've been debating it, because I know a lot of you have, I've talked to a lot of people that have, now's the time. So yeah.
Yes. So sign up.
Yeah.
Deadline's coming.
The Norns.net.
Get in. You have anything you want to plug before I jump in?
Sign up is open for the March market.
Ooh, yes.
We're almost full already, if not full, but get those applications in. That way you have a chance of getting in on one of these spots.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, Amanda. Hello. So with that, while we're plugging things, I want to plug our magazine. So every month we do a magazine. You guys know we dropped it last time here first. It is available now, so you can go onto the website and you can order your hard copy or get your PDF digital copy. They will be available in store in 5 days. On February 20th, they'll be available in store, so you can come in store and get your copies February 20th. We like to always announce it on the podcast to you guys first, so you guys jump on, do your thing, click your thing, support the stuff.
Do the clickies.
Yeah. And then I'm going to jump into my little tiny segment. If you are local, you are in Gardening Zone 8. You're either in 8B or 8A. We still treat you like 8B, even though weird pieces of Lampasas and Cove fall into 8A. It's literally just because they went like this with the map, and we're like, this is where the line is. So you guys still fall with us. But now is the time to start your gardens. Now is the time to start planting. If you're an herb gardener or a veggie gardener, now if you haven't already started your seeds, now is that time to really start making your big push. So if you're growing veggies this year, beets, broccoli, cabbage, carrots, cauliflower, garlic, kale, mustard greens, lettuce, onions, peas, peppers, and tomatoes. That's what we want to be starting now from seeds indoors. Some of this you can already cold weather outside. I've already harvested broccoli, cauliflower, and garlic. My garlic was planted last year, late in the year. So I've already harvested those things, but you can start growing them now, or you could be harvesting them now. For herbs, this is the big time to push your herb gardens. I have a bunch of herbs that I've started in here that are maybe 2 weeks away from going outside by looking at them. My lettuces and stuff I'm going to keep inside because I want to be able to grow them year round. And if it gets too warm, your lettuce goes to seed. So I'm going to keep that inside. But your herbs, it's a big push. If you don't have rosemary outside already, plant your rosemary. Everybody, every witch should have rosemary growing by their front gate, growing by their front door. Get it out now. Start your rosemary, oregano, sage, chervil, lavender, mint. Your catnip falls into that mint family. Chamomile or chamomile. Bergamot, chives, dill, fennel, lemon balm, lemongrass, lavage, marjoram, parsley, thyme, and hyssop. All of those herbs, now is the time to do it. Before it gets too hot. These guys won't seed once it gets too hot. Am I selling garden starter plants in store this year? Yes. Well, yes and no. I am doing about 1,000 garden starts for the free farmers market that we'll be setting up here in Copperas Cove. It'll be the first Saturday of every month out by Carlos's, the Copperas Cove Creative Space. Both the Norns and the Copperas Cove Creative Space are working together to sponsor that. That way the farmers in Central Texas have a free venue that they can go and set up at this year. So I will be selling starters there towards the end of the season. I think we'll probably be giving starters away because we did that last year. I started 2,000 seeds. Yeah.
Please give them a hug.
Please plant them somewhere. I did it with cantaloupes. Last year I accidentally planted 5 varieties of cantaloupes, and I just didn't have enough space for the vining plants. So I was giving away cantaloupes at the end of the year. Don't wait for that. Buy them first and then get more free ones later. But it's going to happen this year too. I planted 2,000 vegetable starts this year, and I planted 1,500 herb starts this year. Yes, the pumpkin fiasco from 2 years ago. It's every year it's something. We always overplant something. I think your mom was giving away tomatoes last year too.
I did tomatoes one year.
Yeah.
I gave to everybody that I knew, and then to
Yes.
strangers. Like,
Please take this tomato home with you. It
Yes.
needs love. So for those of us that start seeds, we do. We just start too many because the seed packet will tell you that like 30% of the seeds will germinate, 60% of the seeds will germinate, whatever, and then you end up with 100% germination, and then you have 200 tomato plants, and you don't know. You didn't know your thumb was that green.
That's a lot, spaghetti.
It is. You can only can so much too.
Yeah.
We made salsas, spaghetti sauces, all sorts of stuff last year, and I still froze probably 3 dozen gallon-sized bags of cherry tomatoes. It got to the point where my cherry tomato tree, it's a tree, it's like 7 feet tall and all over the thing.
That's
But
amazing.
it's still tomatoing right now from last
Katie
year.
said that salsa was fire.
I got 3 cans left, 3 jars left.
My friend busted me. She said, "What are you doing over there? Why are you tapping things?" I was like, "Look, I'm generating excitement over here." Got the love. That's
Yeah.
what we're both doing. If y'all wondering, we're not
They're
just
fighting
like,
each other on who can like the video the most.
We got so many likes going on.
So the more you guys like the videos, the more other people see the videos. So please join the like
Right,
train.
join the competition. Let's go.
And it'll help us grow. It's one of those free ways to support a small business that we're always like, hey, support, shop small, do the things. All you gotta do is
Hit
tap
like.
your finger like this. It's good finger exercise.
Yeah.
Hello, Perla. Welcome.
Hey, Perla. That's my friend. That's the one that was like,
Tap
I
all the
tapped
taps.
I love Perla. Perla and her family have all received Reiki from me, and she's amazing. She was my first friend in Colleen.
Aw,
Yeah.
I love that.
She's an awesome human. She's in Hawaii now, living her best life.
Oh,
Oh. Is it your best life?
Oh,
I
no, it's
visited
been-
Hawaii a few times. I'd love to visit,
Yeah,
but I don't think that.
the weather's been scary lately. She's
Oh,
been sending
yeah.
us videos, and I'm like, well, I'm cool.
A lot of the native islanders get really sketched about people moving to the island and doing it for the wrong reasons and not respecting it.
They're
so.
army, so that's why they're there.
Oh yeah, so you guys probably don't. They probably don't love you.
Be like that.
It does be like that. So getting out of gardening a little bit, we do have houseplants in the shop, guys. I will come hula with you. Yeah. Yeah, that would be fun. We get laid off the plane. It's so nice.
That'd be great.
Okay.
Vegetables.
Gosh,
no, this
vegetables.
Was the silly one. This is the
it
silly
is the
one.
silly one.
We can be silly and vegetables.
So outside of vegetables, you guys can always plant. Oh, they do love you then.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So outside of vegetables, the other things that you can be doing this spring, if you are not a gardener, is spring cleaning. There's a reason we spring clean. It's not just because some guy woke up one day and was like, "Hey, honey, clean the house." That's not it. It might be part of it, but it's not it. So part of the idea of spring cleaning is getting the old and stale things out of your house. If you look at something, I do this with my plants a lot. Star can tell you. I will threatening my plants that, hey, you guys have 24 hours to get your shit together. If I don't like the way you look tomorrow, that's it, you're trash.
Done.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often, but it does happen with poinsettias every year. Every year the poinsettias go. But you have to get the things out that no longer serve you happiness. They no longer bring you happiness. We tend to hang on to things, and then we get overwhelmed with things. So spring cleaning is literally to get you out of that state of mind. Spring cleaning helps you set new goals. It helps start new relationships and set new boundaries in your relationships. It also opens up your mind to a fresh start for the year. So make sure you are spring cleaning.
Absolutely. And something we don't think about a lot during spring cleaning is like our electronics as well. So clearing out old files, reorganizing your phone so it's a little less overwhelming, a little more simple. Gives you some headspace. I harp on the electronics all the time. Brittany's over here like this.
I have 7,000 screenshots.
Yeah. Exactly those recipes that when we go to use them, we just get back on the. Yeah.
I pay for cloud storage just for.
I'm losing screenshots that you're gonna go Google every time you need them again.
Yes.
What was that recipe? I'll just look it up. Yeah. So that counts too, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. It does feel good to spring clean, though. I will say, like, I don't do my electronics. That is something that I should be more aware of. So thank you for bringing that to my attention. I'm gonna continue to fire sign it. And,
I know. Until the
but
phone
I'm
explodes.
aware now.
As long as you're mindful.
No, it's receipts. It is receipts. I need those receipts. What if in 2031 somebody needs to know how wrong they were in 2016?
That's super fair. Yeah.
I got married on receipts. I'm just saying.
I mean, or sometimes it's just because my squirrels are not always going in the same direction. And sometimes I need to figure out what.
That's a lot of it for me too. I'm like, I need to do this, this, and this, and then I screenshot those things, and then one day I'm in bed at 4 a.m. looking through my phone. And I'm like, oh my gosh, today's the day I'm gonna plant those. It is. I've wanted to grow okra my entire life. We're growing it. They have the most beautiful flowers, but I hate to eat okra. I grew the largest, woodiest okra ever last year because I just like the flowers.
That's wonderful. That's a good reason. Michelle says that she cannot delete her emails, and I agree 100%. That is my one spot. I have 53,000 emails.
I am working on my emails, actually. I have 17,000. I'm down to 17,000 emails.
What'd you start at?
Like 70 plus
Nice.
thousand.
That's awesome. 'Cause that's goals for me.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm going to go cheat and look right now because it's literally, look, 17,856.
That's
and I've
beautiful.
been
I love
deleting
that for
them
you.
and actively doing that.
Yeah.
Um,
Can you spell a little bit while we're here?
Yes.
Because, hi, April. Spring cleaning now. Good job. Awesome, Amanda.
Yes.
Okay. Making sure that was it. Okay. Love it.
Yeah, you cleaning your emails too?
I'm just going to look to see.
So what got me in the
Just
clean
going to
my
Lucy's
emails
house.
thing was because my
Yeah,
Google
it
was
doesn't
like,
tell you.
you're
Does
using.
it say you're out of space?
No, yeah,
Yeah.
my app was
Yeah.
telling me I'm out of space, and I was like,
Yeah.
how is that even possible? I have 99 plus emails. What does it mean I'm out of space?
Mhm.
And then I went on, and I was like almost at 100,000 emails. So I have been, and it was all stupid things.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I know what I bought on Amazon. Why do they send me 5 emails about my one
Why
purchase?
do I have the app if they're going to send me all the emails?
Yes.
You know? Yeah.
So.
Okay. I know I have the app to spend more money.
Yes.
So, yeah,
Did you put
let's.
the link on the website?
I did not put the
Okay,
link on
I'm
the
gonna
website.
put the link on the
That's a
website.
star job.
I
That's
know
not
it
a
is.
birdie
I know
job.
it
have
is.
a
How dare
question.
you
Check
fail?
TikTok.
Ooh, yay.
Ooh, a question. Or do you want me to read it?
Oh, do you guys have any rituals you like to do for spring cleaning, or just spiritual cleaning in general?
Hello.
We're all gonna answer it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me start because I
Yes.
have so many. Okay, so we talked about it last time that I clean from the back of the house to the front of the house every single time because yeah, all the energy collects at the back and you're pushing it all out the front door. So I do that mindfully. I clean with our waters that we have here in the store. I clean with Palo Santo water usually, honestly. So I do that all intentionally. I also Reiki my house as I clean it. Just making sure that I get in all the corners. And I have Reiki symbols in my house that activate to do that. And yeah, I also thank anything that I throw away. Because
I love
that's
that.
me. I say thank you for your service before I throw it away. And yeah, I think those are the ones I can think of. The kids do that too, which is honestly really adorable, especially when they were smaller.
Yeah.
They'd have their 75
Thank
scraps
you,
of paper.
Josh.
Thank you. And I was like, thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you for throwing it away. So, yeah.
Hello, Dave. Yo, witches.
Yo.
So we are actually in the process of spring cleaning now. For me, it's always a whole ordeal to spring clean. I've got to like take 2 or 3 weekends to do it. How does thou Reiki one's house? Okay, we'll talk about
Oh,
that.
yeah. And yes, I will teach that in class. Yes.
So because I have so many animals and so many kids and so many moving parts in my house, I try to break it down to like manageable sections for me. I also have the ADHD brain. So I like to do the laundry room, the kitchen, half of my bedroom, my kids' bathroom, and like
I feel that.
I only do
Mhm.
pieces of everything, and then I get really overwhelmed.
go this way.
So what I
Yeah.
have learned that really works for me is I make a list, and I say, this is my spring cleaning goal. I'm gonna do this, this, and this, and I only get this and this done. So,
But you get something done, and that's what
yes,
matters.
yeah, and I pat myself on the back, and
As you
then
should.
I move on and I do it the following weekend.
Mhm.
So I try to take like the entire month of February each weekend to really be working and doing something. And I have been true to that. I have tried to stick to that this year. I'm a little bit behind, but it's because my father passed away last year, so we're also having to deal with that energy. And I should Reiki my house, honestly, but I feel bad passing that energy out. Like I'm a hoarder. I want to
Yeah,
keep
I know.
it. I might need
We could come together.
yeah.
Do it
I
with
might
love and
need my
gratitude.
dad's energy in there
Yeah.
to like kick me in the ass every
Well,
once in a while.
Reiki's not going to get rid of it unless it's negative energy.
Right, and it was.
Well, yeah. That's fair.
Brady,
That's
what are
fair.
you doing with your life?
Okay, so I Reiki my house and I still feel my dad doing that, so I think that would be alright.
I need those kicks in the ass.
I put a dish away just like slightly damp, and I'm like, bro, I'm sorry, I'm just kidding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why didn't you turn the mugs upside
Oh
down?
my god, for real. The dust will get in it.
Yeah. Yes.
If it's dusty, I need to give it away. Thanks. Anyway.
Do you have any spring cleaning rituals?
Kinda. When I'm back doing the spring cleaning in my studio area. My studio area is 2 big bedrooms that I converted into studio space. My Frigga altar is in there, so I light candles in the whole 9 yards when I'm doing anything more than just general tidying. It's not a big deal, but if I'm doing like serious organization and spring cleaning, throwing stuff out, I actually go ahead and leave an offering and light candles and stuff and turn it into a whole
A ritual.
a ritual
Right,
for,
a way to
for a
honor
moment.
her. Yeah, that's
I
awesome.
love that.
I also live in lists.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
one of these
Do you
days I will
accomplish yours?
post. Kind of. See, I actually developed a system because I use a paper planner. I don't have it with me. I left it back in Mississippi. Otherwise, I would pull it out and show you
Yeah.
because I am super proud of the planner system that I have worked out for me. It works with my ADHD. And I have my weekly spread and I have my important things. I try to pick out a couple of things each day that are super important. Not necessarily 3. Like all the planners try to say 3. It
Yeah.
might be 1. Like some
Yeah.
days my mental capacity can only handle I need to call the VA to make appointments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That takes a lot for me to deal with, so that might be the only main thing on there. But then I have these other lists that I use washi tape to put on top of my planner, and it's a rotating list, and I'll move it from week to week. Now I change it out each week because I like to rewrite it. You know, I make stationery and stuff, so I like to rewrite it and give myself that time. Sunday evening, I sit down for about an hour and do my planner and do my lists, and then you feel like you accomplished, even if you didn't accomplish a whole lot. Like
You
it
made a
feels, yeah.
Yes.
And marking it off, like I like.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll
Yeah.
mark something on just so I can mark it off because
That is
sometimes you need that
scientific
little happy.
improvement. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. When I'm big sad, I put brush my teeth on the list. I'm like, yes.
Put pants on today.
Yes.
And sometimes that's what you need to be able to do other things. Like,
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Traction through action. I love it.
What did Michelle ask? Oh, how do you Reiki your house? And will you teach that in that class?
I will teach
Let's
that in
talk.
class. So you
I
gotta go to
did it
class.
and I left. I hate the new Facebook. I hate that it.
it's really easy to
scrolls.
leave.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So once I scroll out, that's it, guys. I lost all the comments.
It's all
So
over. Yeah.
it's. I mean, I have them here too.
Right. Yeah.
But it's inconvenient that they're not in Facebook anymore. Okay, so how do you Reiki your house?
So
Do you have to be a Reiki master to Reiki your house?
I wouldn't say master. I think you could do it before level 3. To do the whole house, I'd wait till level 2 for sure. But you do it by basically using symbols, and you don't have to necessarily draw those symbols, but I usually do, you know. Even when I'm renting, a little pencil or whatever, you know, and they're almost like activation points, so I can go through and send the energy there. I can send it from wherever I am. And yeah, it's hard to explain the whole thing without explaining all of Reiki and how to do it.
Yeah.
But it's honestly, it's pretty easy, and it makes a huge difference. And I notice it in my pets, I notice it in my kids. Everybody's fighting, and I'm like, I'll be back, give me a second. Let me go zen out for a minute, and then, yeah, it's great stuff, very powerful.
Nice.
So, yeah, the symbols are awesome, honestly, really helpful. Yeah. How's it going over there? Who's winning?
Right? That's what I was looking for you to do.
I don't think I'm number 1. Oh, no,
I think that's
it
Katie's.
looks like Katie's number 1 right now.
How
Number one in our
dare her?
I shall tap faster.
Let me get this
I'm
link
gonna
on here.
pull up the magazine for a second because I do want to talk about some of the different articles that are in the magazine as well this month. Because I am very, very proud of how the magazine is growing.
Me too.
I don't know if you guys know this about me or not, but I have wanted to do a magazine for the Norns store since 2018, and I'm sure you all know how much I do. I'm sure so many people are like, how the fuck is Brittany alive?
That I ask that every time I come in.
I will get right in there with you, Katie. So, with the magazine, what I eventually want is it to be a community project where so many people come together to make so many different moving parts of the magazine, different articles, different things like that. Where we're at now, we're starting to get there. So the Norns will always kind of have its own page and place in the magazine. I'll try to talk about the things that are coming up, maybe throw a calendar in there. But one of the things that's happening now is the Amanda in the... You can get a digital magazine. So if
I'm
you go to our
officially putting the
website...
link on right now. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, so if you go to the website in 5 seconds...
Literally publish... Wait for it.
Na, 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 na. I sang too soon.
Brother.
Na, 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 na. In just a
There it
minute.
is.
Perfect. If you go to the website right now, you can get a PDF copy. or you can order a hard copy. It's the same price for either one. Personally, I like to have the hard copy so I can hoard it.
Yeah.
But one of the things that's happening is the Amanda that's in the comments, the Amanda Dykstra in the comments. She is one of my besties. We've known each other since we were itty bitty kids in elementary school. Our moms met when we were really young. We've literally known each other almost our entire lives. She is an author. She has her own books. You can follow her on her author page. But she's doing a short story series. So the first one in there is called The Last Forge. It's a really fun piece about Bridget, and I don't want to go into too much detail.
It's really good.
Yeah,
It's really good.
really
Yeah.
fun. And she did another piece called The Norns Tea Shop for the next one, so you'll get to see the Norns in like a different light. They're very fun, whimsical pieces. And another member of our community is taking the time to sit down and actually illustrate them. So there will be a short story and a local artist featured in this magazine. Then, because Ostara is coming up, we have our Ostara history and ritual in this magazine. We have a space in there for magic and medicine where you get to see my garden from last year, deep dive into what we do, where some of our herbs come from. I can't grow the herbs in the amount that we sell. So when you see fresh bundles in here, those are typically the herbs that are from my garden. The herbs that we carry on the shelf are USDA tested. They all come from Mountain Rose Herbs. They're food grade, human safe. Everything that comes from my garden is also food grade and human safe, but it's not tested. So we sell it in small bundles. But there's a place in the magazine this year that talks about the magic of green witchcraft, how to use the herbs that you grow medicinally and magically. And then Dave's portion, the Norse Talk, he goes over all of the runes. And he talks about reading runes instead of just... a lot of times when you Google like rune readings, it will tell you Tiwaz, justice, truth.
It's very vague.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the runes I think means cow.
Yeah, it's ox, but
ox.
It's urus, yeah.
So, he tried to give you a little bit more detail on when you're reading the runes, how to interpret them in a more spiritual manner, because they were a language.
They form paragraphs if as you're divining them. Yeah, it's wild.
So
it's awesome.
that is in there. And then we have a piece on hereditary witchcraft in there. But what's cool about the piece on hereditary witchcraft is it does not exclude those of us who choose to become witches. It's a very inclusive piece that just talks about the pros and cons of hereditary witchcraft versus choosing witchcraft. And it also gives you an initiation ritual, which I think is really beautiful. We used to perform this ritual in the lakes, and it's very much like baptism. It's an anti-baptism to witchcraft. So you leave that, mainstream religious base and enter into a more spiritual aligned path. So that ritual is in this month's magazine. From Stardust is the Draconic Coven. We call it a clan. But it's a coven. It's a closed circle. But that's the Draconic Circle that meets here. There's a nice piece in there about the spring equinox and working with dragons for the spring. Instead of doing a full moon ritual this month, there is a new moon ritual. Then Under the Stars with Air Star, she's focusing on Pisces and Aries. But there is also some fun lunar information and some fun astrological information on what all of the planets and signs are doing for you.
This month I talked about how Aries season is going to be affecting everyone. So kept it, what everyone should know.
And then
spicy.
Magical Fairy Planting is in there, and that is Nikki's Botanicals, who came together and put herbs for spells and kitchen magic, vegetables, for nourishment and abundance, flowers for beauty and spellcraft. Like, she really broke it down to the things that you can put in your garden this year, the things that, what they do and how you can use them inside your garden, which I love. And then, I can't pronounce his writing name, but we have a local poet who did an Ostara blessing for fertility poem, and then an ode to our Ostara poem in here as well. So we have poetry coming on, and then cooking in the kitchen. We have an awesome recipe that we hope you will make for your Ostara meal. It is a really fun recipe. It is my rainbow pasta salad recipe. It used to just be boring pasta salad, but of course, in the day and age that it is now, we have to have rainbow pasta salad. What else is cool is you can actually order rainbow noodles. It's not just the tricolor noodles that you get at like Walmart or HEB. If you get on the Amazonons, there might be other places to do it. Your local farmers markets. I think our Heidi lady used to make rainbow noodles. Heike, that was her name, Heike. Anyways, some of your local farmers markets may also have rainbow noodles, but if you don't have rainbow noodles and you have to use basic white noodles, man, no problem. You can do that too, and then just all of the ingredients are your rainbow ingredients. It's a really pretty dish whether you use just white noodles or you can actually get the rainbow noodles. So I'm very excited about where it's coming. Our sponsors, all of our sponsors in this month's issue are sponsors that support the store, support our community, support the things that we're trying to do, and I'm really proud of where the magazine is at and where we're growing. Yeah. So what was Katie's question? Now that I've ranted.
Well, first,
yes.
Do that. Speaking of community and what we're doing in the community and stuff, we have Ostara coming up, right?
We do.
And
yes.
We are going to start fundraising. When are we
yes.
going to start fundraising, and what are we raising funds for?
Okay, so I believe February 21st.
Okay.
That's Sunday, right?
I feel good about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's February 21st is when we start our fundraising. Every year we do Ostara baskets for the kids. In the past, we have made. I think last year we made 180 Ostara baskets. So we made almost 200.
Awesome.
It was either last year or the year before that we made almost 200 Ostara baskets. So what they are is they're Easter baskets, guys. But it's Ostara for us. So if you grew up with an Easter basket, that's literally what we're making for the kids. It will have a lot of times they'll have egg coloring kits in them. They have chocolate bunnies. They have eggs with candy in them. They have rabbits. We really try to make it a fun way for the community to come together and to do something for the kids in the community. So that is what we will be raising money for. We will also have a Easter egg hunt here. So it is our Ostara egg hunt. I try to use Easter and Ostara interchangeably. That way you guys really get it into your heads that that is the holiday that we're celebrating. I think this year Easter falls in April, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So even though we are celebrating in March, it's because it is traditional. It's Ostara. That's what we're doing.
It's close to the equinox, like the actual
Yeah, it's
equinox.
the spring equinox.
Yeah.
And so that is what we're doing. That's what we're celebrating. That's what we're pushing. Easter came in. They took over. But we're still keeping it at the roots. Everything in the baskets does have an Ostara symbolism. There is a hare, a white hare. There are eggs. All of that is Ostara related, and was just pulled to be Easter.
I'm very excited.
So.
I'm very excited.
I am very excited. I'm very excited for so many things. We have 500 plus plastic eggs. Thank you, April. Yes. I have all kinds of plastic eggs, but I appreciate that. Yes. What was Katie's
question?
Katie's question. She said, Brittany, you said you keep your dad's energy. How do you all communicate with those who've passed on?
How dare you call me out like that? I am very simple in communication. If I'm going to communicate with somebody else on somebody else's behalf, things get a little complex. But where I'm at, I believe that energy surrounds me all of the time, so I can talk to it. There are more intimate conversations that I will like light a candle for, open a door for, literally open the door, and I have an altar for my dead parents. I mean, that's really where it's at. There's a special place in my house. My uncle sits there. My mom and dad sit there. I have pictures of another uncle that passed away that I never met. And he sits there because of what he meant to my parents. But I have this spot and my kids interact with it. It's like a sacred space. And so when anybody needs something, we keep my dad's jewelry there. We have a necklace and a watch that belonged to him. And Aiden wears the watch almost all the time. If you ever see Aiden with a blue Oakley watch on, it was my father's. And sometimes you just got to pick those things up and you put them on and wear them for the day. And that's how my kids connect, is actually through wearing the jewelry. My daughter's got my dad's gold chain right now because she took it with her to California to watch, so he can watch over her in California. But I literally just open the conversation. I will just say, we have a flickering light in the parking lot, and when my dad passed away, we had a lot of flickering light occurrences at the house. And so we always say that Grandpa's in the parking lot. And so sometimes I will leave work and I just have to tell the lights all of the things. Like, it's been a day today. Let me just please. Sometimes the back room lights act up.
Yeah.
So, but that's how I communicate. I just open the door. I will just literally have a conversation. Opening the door is kind of a Jewish tradition. When you pass away, you don't close the door on somebody who's passed away. They will get trapped inside. So if I ever have to have a talk with somebody, I literally will, even if it's just my bedroom door because it's cold outside or wet or whatever, I will just open a door and start, let me just tell you all the things. Also, I'm sad.
Yes. And you're rude for not actually being there.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Yeah.
So how do you communicate differently?
Very much the same actually. I have my ancestor altar when you first walk in the house. I've got my brother there. My brother's ashes are in a cardboard box because he was like, "Don't you dare spend money." He was like, "No." So I have my animals that have passed, the ashes that I have of them. I have pictures of the family. Kids do the same thing. The kids leave offerings. Sometimes they'll borrow something. Usually a picture. My son likes to grab a picture sometimes, take it to school just to have in his pocket. And I just talk to them too. I'll be like, "Hey, Dad, what's up?" Burn an incense almost every day. I'll light an incense for the altar. I light a candle too sometimes, especially because I'm getting more into the wax reading and stuff. When I have the conversation, I'll look at it afterwards like, "You mad? No? Okay." I inherited my car from my grandma, and it's falling apart, so I have to upgrade, but it's been really difficult for me to do that. But sometimes when I'm driving, the second passenger light will come on, like they need to put on their seatbelt, but there's no one there, and I'm like, "Yo, Grandma, what's up?" And I'll talk to her in there for sure, like pretty frequently. Exactly. I'm like, "Am I in danger? What's up?" But that's, to me, I feel like that's her way of being like, "Hey, I'm here. I'm sitting here with you." So yeah, I talk to her in the car. I talk to all of them, real open conversation style. The kids do the same, so very similar.
You?
Not as much.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as having a formal altar, I don't.
Yeah.
It is not a practice that resonates with me well. I think it's because I was so nomadic for so much of my life.
Yeah.
I kind of carry my dead with me. And I mean, I talk to him, like sometimes I have some real long conversations. But I don't do the formal altar at this point. There may be a
hooked
point.
on death, guys.
I love talking about death. Don't even get me started.
So we're gonna start with you this time.
Yeah.
What are your views on what comes after death, or what doesn't come after death?
I'm one of those.
There's no wrong answer.
I think it's because I spent so much time with Buddhists and stuff. Like, I'm very, death is death, and if you think you're going someplace, then you probably are.
Nice.
I feel that deeply.
I think everybody's after death is going to be different.
Yeah. I believe very strongly in reincarnation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm part of both camps because I believe that the soul is made of many, 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 many pieces, and I believe that we're all kind of part of the same collective, but we've all got different pieces of our soul that like are going different places. So I think that some reincarnate, but I also have the Nordic belief in the halls. So I think that if that piece of the soul has learned all the pieces that it needs to, it goes to the hall to rest or to do whatever. And then the pieces that haven't go to hell and they chill in the lobby until they have a new assignment, and they come down in other pieces.
The
It's
Christian hell?
no, of course, the Christian hell.
I
That's what we're
just-
talking about. Yeah. Sorry, the Nordic hell, where we have tea and cookies and we have a good time.
Yes.
And it's like, so my great grandma, I didn't know because I wasn't in communication with the family at the time. She passed away 2 days before my oldest daughter was born. I named my oldest daughter after her. Like, great grandma is Leah Rosenfeld and my daughter is Leah Rose, like that closely. And then I found out 2 weeks after she was born that grandma had passed, and so I was like, okay, that's a sign. And then now that kid is so much like great grandma. Like, it's wild. She's a handful, and I think a little piece of the soul carried over, but I don't think it's all the same soul. I
Yeah.
just think it's a little piece,
I have the same. I have a similar experience. My daughter is Astrid Lee, and my Uncle Lee is the only member of my family that really treated us. My mom was adopted, and so I'm not my biological grandparents' grandchild. My grandparents raised me, and so their biological children, the only one of their children that ever treated us like we were family was my Uncle Lee. And I always told my grandparents that I was going to marry somebody like my Uncle Lee, and that I was going to name my first child after my Uncle Lee. Well, I had a girl, so she's Astrid Lee. But he passed away on her birthday, and she now goes by Lee. So I think it's really fun. She's also going to go into a field. She's going to go into marine biology. My Uncle Lee loved animals, and so I just think it's really neat the way it worked. In Jewish tradition, you don't name anybody after anybody until they've passed away. It's bad luck.
Yep.
So I got a lot of shit when I named my daughter after my alive uncle. And then he passed on her birthday, so clearly I cursed him.
She and I have the
Right.
same middle name.
So
Yeah.
I'm a Brandy Lee.
Yeah.
I'm also a Lee as well.
Yeah.
And but no, so that's funny because my second cousin was named after that same great grandma while she was alive, and everyone was pissed.
Yeah.
And I was like, but it's okay because I don't talk to them, so nobody will be mad, and I'm just honoring. And then I found out and I was like, the little part of me was like, yes, I'm in the clear. We're good. And then when we went to meet the family, they weren't mad either. I was like, awesome. I love that.
Superstitions are fun, especially in the Jewish faith.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
Such a superstitious faith, and I think that's where I get it from, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so many things. I'm like, oh, I can never.
Mazel tov.
The shalom mender. Did you see the shalom mender? It's a lizard with I think a yarmulke.
A yarmulke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, guys. You got any more questions for us? I want one of the copies
Katie does have copies for memories.
for memories. I'm also gonna put this out there, guys. If you guys have any magazines, I need your old magazines.
I'm really excited about this.
I want to do a vision board in March, like a group collective. We're gonna have a vision board day, but I need magazines to do it. So if you have old magazines that you would like to donate to my cause, please drop them off at the Norns.
Yes.
You can leave them in the bathroom if you want to do it anonymously, but
That'd
they're
be
not going to
awesome.
stay there.
I'm so excited. That'd be really cool. Please, someone do that.
Right.
Cornell, what
I
is
just
this?
said, I'm going to leave magazines in your bathroom every time I come into town.
Perfect.
I mean, except I come out to see you. Like, I'll leave them in both bathrooms.
That's right. You are coming to my house tomorrow.
That's awesome.
We got 15 minutes, guys. 15 minutes. So if you have any burning questions, another question comes to Katie.
You mentioned from Stardust being a clan, but like a coven. What's the difference between clan, coven, and
Kindred.
coven, and kindred, etc.?
Kindred.
My mom I need all of those catalog magazines, Barbara. I'm not even kidding.
Yes,
All
please.
of them. All of them.
Pretty please.
The Esquires, the
Everything.
Yeah, the Reader's Digest, the National Geographic.
Love me a Reader's Digest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna let you answer the question.
Sorry, what was the question?
Coven, kindred, clan, circle.
So there's only one that I can really speak to, and that's a kindred.
Oh no.
Only because I know that from a Nordic perspective, from a heathenry area. Because there's kindreds, and then there's the words I'm not allowed to say, I guess.
The heathen hangout?
Yeah, the heathen hangout, that's what we'll call it. I was part of a fellowship. I don't care what Brittany says, but
You're allowed to say fellowship, you're just not allowed to
I'm not allowed to
advertise
call it a
fellowship.
fellowship. Anyway, so
Right,
the
if we
heathenry-
advertise fellowship, people think that we're trying to Christianize the pagans.
But the right people will think
Such
of the
a
rings.
nerd. That is totally
Exactly,
not
the
what I'm like.
fellowship
of
I'm
the
like
rings,
into
right?
Lord of the Rings stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Which I mean, yeah, basically.
Such a nerd.
No, that's what.
Harry Toes, welcome.
Okay, so
I took
anyway.
it there.
Anyway. Fingerhead's good too. But also, okay, so in heathenry, you have a fellowship, which is like an open circle, or you have a kindred, which is a very closed circle. And what that means is that typically there's a jarl or a leader, and everyone within the kindred will oath to that leader, which basically says, it's like the people will serve that leader. And do as that person says. Normally it's a he, not always.
Hostile takeover?
But, yeah, I mean, it happens. It definitely happens. It's a much more of a hierarchy kind of situation, whereas a fellowship is much more democratic, I guess. And, yeah. But
Okay.
there are benefits to kindreds. There's benefits to both. In kindreds, it's a lot easier to do, like, intense rituals and things because you're very familiar with each other and you know the energy to bring to the table. Fellowships are just more like free loving.
Nice, nice. Do you want to take any of them? Or do you want me to cover the last three? I will cover them. So, circle, coven, clan. A clan is very much like a kindred. They have one leader, but it differs. Well, I'm going to say it differs because I don't know. But in a clan, there is like a secondary and a third. There's a council of elders is what we call it in a draconic circle. So your council of elders are actually the ones that make the decisions, and then your high priest or high priestess is the bad guy who has to dictate how they happen. Yeah. So everything is very much like a republic. We have different houses that have to do the things, and then the lead boss man is like, this is what we're doing, and really they didn't put any of that in order.
Just like, this is what I was told, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, you're out of the club.
Right.
It was Katie's decision.
Kindred does have a
But I'm
couple more
here to
than the Jarl,
enforce it.
but not many more.
Yeah.
It's like Gothi and a few others, but
Yeah, so in a clan you have at least 3.
okay.
And sometimes you will have 5. So they're normally a maid or a maiden, and then you have a priest or a priestess, and then you have your high priest and high priestess, and then you have your elder. And your
That's
elder is
pretty
just
cool.
a general term.
Like a wise person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a wise man, yes,
Okay.
or a seeker, or a
Ah.
seer, or yeah.
Katie
So.
cackled.
Yes. She said it is me. How did you know? Then a circle is very much like a fellowship. You come and you hang out. It's open to everybody. Anybody can be invited to a circle at any time, no matter the faith that they practice. It's you ever go to church with your friends? That's literally what a circle is. It's, hey, come see what we do. Come see who we are. Come hang out with us. This is a really cool place where we share stories and do things. And so that is the openness of a circle. A coven is a closed group that you can only be invited into for certain rituals or certain ceremonies. It's like 2 or 3 circles out of the year that covens allow visitors. The visitors have to be vetted. They are people who are seeking to follow the same path as you. And the coven all worships the exact same way. So if Star prays to Isis, I pray to Isis, and Brandy prays to Isis, we could potentially start a coven. But if Star prays to Isis through Hathor, and I just pray to Isis, and Brandy just has an Isis altar, we can't set a coven. A coven is literally practicing the exact same way, with the exact same intent and the exact same history. Yeah, we believe everything. This is what we believe, and it's to a T.
Right.
This Bible is our Bible. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
I did not know that. That's cool.
Yeah, they do cool and weird things in a coven. We also do cool and weird things in a clan. In Draconic Clan, we have 5 rings.
Nice.
So you accelerate through the rings. A coven can also have rings. I went to a coven that met in Austin. We got invited out. This was, I want to say 2018, 2019 when we were invited out there. It was a beautiful experience. I'm very grateful that they invited us out. But when you went out, you were handed a rope, and depending on the color rope you had, depended on who you could talk to. So we got white ropes. We were brand new. We could only talk to other people with white ropes. If somebody had a blue, a red, a green, a gold, or a silver rope, they had to talk to you before you talked to them.
Okay.
And it just went to how many years they had been practicing, how many years they'd been inside the circle. It was a really cool experience. But obviously we didn't join the coven. So it was not for us.
Yeah.
What else was cool about their coven is they worshiped the moon. That was it.
That's
so
cool.
the moon
I
was
like
their higher energy. It was the sun and the moon. So you could really work with any deity that you wanted to inside that coven, but they had a lot of structure and a lot of things moving, which was fun.
I think coven structure is sometimes a little difficult for those of us that are very ADHD.
Yeah.
It does not always fit our squirrels.
Yes. And
Harnessing them becomes difficult sometimes. It's great for some people, but...
Yeah, and if you come from a religious trauma background, it's really hard to get into a coven, and it's really hard to do a clan, too. I don't have religious trauma. I loved the religion that I came from. I didn't stay that religion. But I do have problems within my own clan where I'm like, gosh, this is very churchy. It's like the word fellowship. It just gives me a dirty in my mouth kind of feeling. I don't like it.
It's not precious for you.
It's not precious. No, it doesn't give me the
Thank you.
sniggles.
Thank you. I love that. It's tricksy. Yes.
Oh no, Michele. When you mention praying to a deity, how does this have similarities or differences from Christian prayer? Wow, I'm not a Christian, so I can't tell you the differences.
Samesies, I've never been on that path. Well, no.
You've been a Christian?
No.
I mean, I was raised
Right.
Christian.
There was.
So.
I'll give you my Jew answer.
There you go. Yeah.
There's no difference. So when you're praying to a deity, you're praying to a higher power. So when you're praying to God, God is that higher power for that faith.
Yeah.
It's just very much prayer. It's just like speaking. It's just like opening a door and saying, hey, these are my intents. This is what I'm doing. It's a personal conversation between you and your higher power. That's it. It looks the same. I can't say it looks the same because Muslim prayer is really cool. And they do the 7 prayers a day and the rugs and a whole thing. And I want to do that sometimes.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Just so you know, I want to be like, Hecate.
I mean, I've seen some pretty elaborate deity prayers too.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's what you make it. But prayer there is no wrong way to,
Exactly. Well, okay, so that's okay. So
Yeah.
That's something that, okay.
There are disrespectful ways to pray to a deity.
Yes.
I'm going to say there is no wrong way to pray to a deity, but there are disrespectful ways to pray. Internal or external prayer?
And Katie.
I like external.
I like external.
I
as well.
need to hear it. It's like when I read too. If I read something to myself, the comprehension isn't always there. But if I take my hand and I read and I'm out loud and I'm hearing myself say the things, I comprehend it better.
Yeah.
I tend to be external.
Yeah.
Unless there's like somebody else in the house. Like,
Right.
so, you know,
Yeah.
my
If
husband
it's gonna
doesn't
make
walk
you-
my path. He doesn't have a problem with my path, but he doesn't walk
Yeah.
my path. So sometimes if it's real personal, then I tend to internalize my prayer just because there's some things that,
Time and place.
Yeah, time and
Yeah.
place.
Yeah. I was gonna say, so what it made me think of,
I'm gonna get a whisper phone. Your mom was supposed to bring me one.
I agree with it being situational. So my biological mother, she converted to Christianity at some point. I spent summers with her here and there. I went to church with her, and she said, like in their faith, that they had to say, it feels weird saying it, so I'm going to use a name, but at the end you have to say, in Jesus' name we pray, Amen, or else it doesn't count. Like it doesn't.
Yeah.
You know, is that a common thing? Because you said you grew up Christian. Is that like normal?
That's more of a because my step family was Catholic. That's to me that's more of what I experienced going to Catholic mass rather than.
My aunt
But
prays
it
that
might
way.
maybe
She's
it-
Mormon.
I was gonna say it might
Yeah.
depend
No,
on
it's just different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like I think every
And it could just be the individual church too.
yeah, that's
She
a
was like
possibility, too.
charismatic. They spoke in tongues and stuff. Like it was one of those.
Oh,
Different church?
she's
I don't know what it's called.
an apot. No.
I don't think
Oh, I know I should
There's
know
a
it.
word.
Episcopalian. Episcopalian.
Episcopalian.
Yeah.
I love Episcopalians. I want to take them to lunch. Episcopalians.
Episcopalian. Episcopalian.
Oh, probably. That sounds about
Yes,
right.
Episcopalian.
Oh my gosh.
Said that.
Episcopalian.
My fam was.
Okay, yeah. And like you had to say it, right? I'm pretty sure. It's like required. You have to sign the letter correctly
Yes.
with the proper postage.
Well, the Jehovah's Witnesses do it for a whole different reason. They have to pray to Jesus because only 144,000 of them are getting in, and over 1 million of them have died.
Cheese and rice.
Yeah.
That's overwhelming.
Yeah, I'm not good
And
at
he wanted to know what is your preferred method of connecting to the divine or deities?
Oh, altar work and candle work. So I am fortunate enough to own this store, so I have things to my disposal now. But even before I have a very intricate altar. We have an entire room, 16 by 20 room that we've turned into a working altar. So each deity has its own space. But before we were there, I still had, I have them in my altar room now, but I have these little clay statues that I made of a god and a goddess, and they're very generic, very generic. They're literally a ball stuck on a pen, dressed in a ribbon, like they're very, but I kept them forever. I still have them, I love them. But before that, I still had false idols. This is my Hebrew coming through. But I still had deity statues, and where I put them and how I interacted with them was very important to me. So I think that you can work with a deity in any fashion, and you don't have to have this big elaborate altar. Dave also has a big elaborate altar, but it's funny because when he practices, he lights an incense on a shelf, says some stuff, has a good day, and pieces out.
I love that.
Like, it's very,
That's very
sometimes
Nordic,
he'll cleanse,
honestly.
yeah. Sometimes he'll cleanse the space first, do some things, but it's normally like thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you guiding me today. This is what I need some help with. There's an incense.
I'm gonna go make you proud.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Goodness.
is that really how it's spelled?
What?
Episcopalian is spelled with an E?
Episcopalian.
I always thought it was spelled with an A. That's why I was like Episcopalian. That's
Episcopalian.
how I remember it.
Episcopalian. It sounds like a lizard. Episcopalian.
Yeah.
I'm raising one of those.
I think they wear. Are they the ones that wear skirts?
No, that's Pentecost.
Pentecostals. You're so right.
I
Yes.
think so.
Yes.
Look at me knowing things.
Yeah. To their ankles.
Yes, yeah.
We got to keep those a secret.
The ankles of sin.
I love that though. I do think.
Pentecostal theology speaks in tongues.
Yeah.
Pentecostal. Maybe Pentecostal's the word.
Yeah.
P's and C's. It could be Pentecostal.
Yeah. There's a Pentecostal church here that dances with snakes too.
I think she would think it was rude if I texted her right now.
Probably. Yeah. And it's 9:30. We're out.
And we're good.
Does anybody have any burning questions? Any last things they want to say? Anything they want to plug? Anything you guys want to ask? Get them in now because it is 9:30, and I try to hold very, very true to we're out on time because nothing else in my life is on time except for when we open.
Especially me.
You were only
I
late
know
twice.
I'm not.
In 1 week.
In one, yeah. I mean, when I was scheduled, only twice. Anyways.
Is your dad still an Episcopalian, Amanda? One day I'm going to tell you guys a really fun story about Amanda and I not being allowed to hang out. Because she put me on speakerphone.
Oh, no. I would never put you on speakerphone.
We were children. She couldn't see me for like 3 months.
Oh, no.
And I think the only reason she got to see me again was because her mom was like, that's her best friend, bro. What are you doing? She's not that bad. She just says things without a filter.
Whoopsies.
It was so good. It's my favorite bird in history, just so you know, Amanda.
That's amazing.
All right, guys. We love your faces. Thank you so much for your support. I'm going to plug a thing across the screen so you have all of our social media plugs. If you would, like, follow, do the things. Is this microphone K68? What microphone is this?
It's not the webcam. I think it's that one, but I'm not positive. Wait, no, that's your computer. I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's the first one.
She almost died that day.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It was really bad, guys. It was really bad. All right, guys. We love your faces. Thank you so much for supporting everything that we do. I hope you guys enjoy your issue of this month's magazine. Watch for the April issue. You guys on the podcast will know first. Thank you so much, and have a great night.